Hello, people. This is DJ Vinyl Vertigo, aka Scott Elliott, and Sunday evening. It's raining hard. It's raining, raining, raining. So I figured I'd take a moment, take a break from putting my show together for next week. The radio station got a lot of stuff going on. Got a Juneteenth event coming up. It's coming Wednesday, so that's going to be crazy. But my show's on Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WMNF Tampa 88.5 FM. In the meantime, I just want to take a break and talk about, I was belly aching a week or so ago about the fact that there's a lot of people in the VC, the vinyl community, who state that they don't particularly care for vocal jazz. And I think that vocal jazz is, it's definitely a relevant and intertwined piece in the jazz world. Jazz singers, there's tons of them. There's a lot of really great ones. There's a lot of really boring ones, but there's a lot of really, really great ones. And we have to acknowledge the greatness of these people, and also of the craft of jazz singing. Jazz singing is not an easy thing to do if you do it well and effectively. And and great jazz singers go beyond any sort of time or space. And what I mean by that is that their vocals on recordings are they're immortal. They're immortal, and they don't get dated. Good jazz singers, music don't get dated. And so I figured, let me talk about some singers that you may or may not know about. Everybody knows Ella Fitzgerald. Everybody knows Louis Armstrong. Everybody knows, well, a lot of people know Sarah Vaughan. Frank Sinatra, of course. Tony Bennett. um, but and of the current ones, they know of Alison Krauss. No, not Alison Krauss. Let me say Diana Krauss. Excuse me, I just said Alison Krauss. Diana Krauss. Um, but and maybe some people know about Gregory Porter. I don't know if you know him or not, but these are great jazz singers, but a lot of them don't really need me to talk about them. You already know about them. So I want to talk about people that you may or may not know of, or you don't know much of, maybe, and they should have a spotlight on them. So this is part of my series of jazz singers. And my first victim is someone who I really, really absolutely. People also love Billie Holiday. I was trying to think of her. Um, this person is extremely influenced by Billie Holiday, because she met Billie Holiday when she was a teenager and has never forgot that experience, and has always used her music in her act. And the singer that I'm talking about, somebody who I loved ever since I was a child, because my father used to play her music in his music room, which was the living room. Carmen McRae. Carmen McRae was a jazz singer, piano player, and pop singer. I preferred her jazz stuff more than the pop stuff, because I know in the 60s and the 70s, a lot of jazz singers started doing, even Sinatra started doing a lot of popular music, trying to do the Beatles and trying to do interpretations of, Beach Boys and, Carole King and that kind of thing, because they had to stay relevant with what was happening at that time. And sometimes their records came off a little bit cheesy. And maybe people heard that and thought, "Oh, I don't like vocal jazz." That is not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about how she based her career from early on. She was a true jazz vocalist, a jazz musician, and she was known for her ironic interpretation of lyrics, very almost spoken sometimes, and also she had a wry sense of humor when she was singing the songs, and also she can get really deep and heavy when she needed to. Was an expert piano player, played in piano bars for decades. Um, she also is known as one of the most influential jazz vocalists of the 20th century. And, for her not to be as well lauded as people like Billie Holiday and Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan is really a shame. It's a tragedy that more people don't know about Carmen McRae. She was born. Her parents came from Jamaica. She was born in, April 8th, 1920, in Harlem, and she early on was listening to jazz music, and she was also taking piano lessons and things like that. At 17 years old, she met Billie Holiday, and that never ever left her. And as a teenager, she ended up working as a teenager young lady as a piano player and a chorus singer in a place called, I believe it was called, what was it called? I forget the name of it. It's a playhouse, Minton's Playhouse in New York City. And she did that for a while, and she made quite of a name for herself in New York City. She met a comedian by the name of, famous comedian by the name of George Kirby, and ended up falling in love with him, and followed him to Chicago, where she did some music out there. She did piano stuff out there. She made a name for herself out there, and they were together for a couple of years. And then she came back to New York, where she got a record deal, and she started to do more things, and got involved with other musicians, and ended up marrying, of all people, Kenny Clark, the drummer Kenny Clark. She was married to him for a few years, and then after that she married Ike Isaac, jazz bassist. Of course, neither one of those relationships ended well. They ended in divorce, because, in the music industry, you know how that is. But what I really liked about her is her attention to detail in terms of the music, her use of her voice like an instrument. And I prefer singers like that. That's why I love Shaka Khan, who sings as if she's playing the trumpet. Billie Holiday was always kind of behind the beat. And that's exactly what Carmen McRae's style was. She was known for singing. Her phrasing was always behind the beat. So she kind of always delayed herself a little bit. And it gave her a kind of a kind of ease with the vocals. It wasn't forced. It was very relaxed. It almost was kind of bluesy the way she sang. So I'm just going to show you a couple of records of hers that I have in my collection. I have a lot more CDs in my collection, but I'm not going to show you CDs tonight. I just want to show you some of the. I don't have that many vinyl records of hers, but the ones I have I really, really like. One of them is kind of on the cheesier side, and I'll show that one last. But this one I really love. It's called Portrait of Carmen. That's actually a portrait of Carmen illustration of her. And this record, this is on Atlantic. This is arranged and conducted by Benny Carter, Gene DeNovi, Oliver Nelson, and Shorty Rogers. She does songs like I'm Always Drunk in San Francisco, Day by Day, Walking Happy, Ask Any Woman, Boy Do I Have a Surprise for You, I Haven't Got Anything Better to Do, Wonder Why. Wonder Why is a Sammy Kahn song. Some really good stuff on here. Really dig this record. I play this one a lot, because it really showcases her vocals. It showcases the strength and the ease that she had with playing with these musicians. Just a fabulous, fabulous vocalist. This is another record. This is a lot. She has a lot of live albums. This one is called As Time Goes By. This is live at the Doug. Yeah, this is really another good record. On this one, she sings As Time Goes By. She sings a song called Supper Time. More Than You Know. Of course, you know that. She does Try a Little Tenderness. She does a really good job on that. Really good record. As Time Goes By. Of course, the title track, she sings that as well. And the thing about a lot of these records, they don't really, this is on Catalyst. And I think this is a Japanese label, if I'm not mistaken. Jazz from Japan, it says on here. It's Catalyst International Jazz from Japan. See that? Really good stuff. She also was a really pretty woman, too. Really, really attractive. This is one that you see a lot everywhere. This is a later record of hers. And this one is arranged and conducted by Peter Matz and Don Sebesky. And this one is on Mainstream. And it's called Carmen's Gold. I'm sure you've seen this in the stacks if you've gone through records. And you probably passed it by. That's the inner part there. And this has Alfie, of course. Who Can I Turn To? You know, so she started to do some, but she does some really good interpretations of these songs. Shouldn't Happen to a Dream, Cloudy Morning, Limehouse Blues, Blame It on My Youth. Oh, she tears that one up. Really nice. Really dig her. She's just so good. And you can find her records relatively cheap, again, because a lot of people don't know who she is, or they just don't, really think of her when they think of, jazz singers or whatever. But I do. This record is a tribute to Nat King Cole. She does a lot of tributes. She does a lot of tribute albums. She does several tributes to Billie Holiday. She has one album that she does. It's all Billie Holiday stuff, and she plays piano. It's really good. She also does another one. I forget the other one. But yeah, that's on CD, so I'm not going to worry about that. This one's called You're Looking At Me, and this is a collection of Nat King Cole songs. This her with short hair there. And that's Nat King Cole right there. So this is like a tribute to him. This is a promo copy. And this is on Concord Records. And another reason why I like her, because she worked with George Shearing a lot. She also worked with Cal Tjader a lot. She worked for, she did go on tour with Oscar Peterson for a while. No, not with Count Basie, excuse me. I'm so confused. Count Basie. She's really worked with some of the greats. Well respected piano player and vocalist. But this one she does, this has on here John Collins on guitar, Marshall Otwell on piano, John Lifewich on bass, and Donald Bailey on drums. And Frim Fram Sauce is on here, Come Out of the Rain, If I Had You, I Can't See for Looking, Sweet Lorraine is on here, You're Looking At Me. A lot of early Nat King Cole stuff. Really great interpretations of his work. This record, I found this and I love it. This is a very laid back Carmen McRae, and this is a live album. This one is it's just called Carmen McRae. It's on Mainstream. If you ever see this, pick it up. It's really, really good. That's the back cover, and it's got like a. Tell you, she's a really attractive woman, right? This record has Spring Can Really Hang You Up the Most. She does a beautiful interpretation of that. Bye Bye Blackbird, In My Solitude, I'm Gonna Laugh You Right Out of My Life. She does Round Midnight on this. I Got It Bad, That Ain't Good. My Ship Is Coming In. And this is all live. It's just her and a piano player. And it's really cool. It's like very nightclub. And finally, this is the one it's on Atlantic. It's called For Once in My Life. It's kind of the cheesy one. But But even the cheesy stuff, she sings really well. It's just, this one is just very, it's arranged and conducted by John Keating. I think it's a little too much. The production's a little over the top in terms of like just sounding kind of fluffy. She sings For Once in My Life, Until It's Time for You to Go. She does a couple of Brian Wilson songs. I just wasn't made for these times, and Don't Talk. She also does Got to Get You Into My Life by Beatles. Come Live With Me, which is, The Look of Love or Bacharach. You know what I'm saying? So this gets a little, this is on the edge there. But this is called For Once in My Life. Carmen McRae. Yeah. So if you are thinking, I don't like vocal jazz, and you're looking for something really cool, Carmen McRae is the way to go. She will really bring you into that whole nightclub scene, piano bar, really laid back, get a nice tasty beverage, put on a Carmen McRae record, you're good to go. I'm telling you. It's time to start opening up your horizons to some really great vocalists. I'll be talking about lots of other great ones. Dinah Washington is one of them I'm going to talk about. Let's see. In terms of people who are still around with us, I'm definitely going to talk about Gregory Porter's definitely. Kurt Elling is another one I'll talk about. But today is Carmen McRae's day. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to hold off, listen to some more music. I want to listen to a couple things by these other artists and explore their lives a little bit before I share it with you. But I think this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun exploring vocal jazz here on DJ Vinyl Vertigo's channel. Anyway, I should stop now before I'm ahead. While I'm still ahead. Hey, I'm going to give you a little taste of Carmen McRae, and hope you keep listening to great music. Have a great Sunday night. I'll see you soon.